Hi, everybody. Welcome to WACA-TV's presentation of Hopkinton High School football on this, a big rivalry day, the annual Thanksgiving Day, the 84th meeting between these two schools, Ashland and Hopkinton. I'm Mike Prate along with Chuck Joseph. We'll be bringing you this morning's action between these two storied teams. Chuck, great rivalry between both these teams, a lot of history with both of them.
Well, you know, it's not often you can say the two teams have played each other for 84 years, and here we are at Chick Welch Field in what has to be viewed as great Thanksgiving Day weather, because we have been out in other weather that has been quite inclement. Here we have probably about 60 degrees, it feels like, out here. That's what the prediction was. It's a little foggy, it's a little wet, but the history of this rivalry goes way back to 1923. And it has been quite a history, Mike.
Yeah, they played every single Thanksgiving Day but one. I was talking to Mr. Doyle before. We have to call him Mr. Doyle because he knows everything about the sport. Yeah. And told me that in 1940 was the only day the game was not played. It was snowed out, of all things.
Which year was that?
1940.
No kidding.
So he knew that right off the top of his head. I was very impressed with some of the stuff he did tell me. One of the other things
he was at every one of them.
Yeah, yeah probably. Yeah, he said the rivalry did start in 1923, and they did play every single Thanksgiving Day since then. So it's been a great series. That right now, the way it stacks up is the records are, Hopkinton has the lead with 42 wins, 36 losses, and 5 ties, both the two teams in those 83 years.
Well, you know what's remarkable about that is I was talking to Coach Hughes, and of course David's been here for a number of years. I think it's approaching 30 years. And when he came here, Hopkinton was in the hole significantly. Ashland had quite an advantage in the long-time rivalry, and through Coach Hughes' tenure, that rivalry has kind of turned around in terms of the final numbers, and Hopkinton is now up by 6 with, I believe you said it was 42, 36, and 5.
And 5, right.
Yeah.
One of the other things, it started in 1923, as we said. Both teams played to a 14-14 tie, and then it took off. First half of the decade pretty much did belong to Ashland, and then Hopkinton has really taken over. As a matter of fact, since 1970, Hopkinton is 26-10-1.
Wow, that's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that since 70. Maybe in the more recent years, but not since 70. So, but you know what? It's every cliche that every coach says. It's Thanksgiving Day. All records go out the books. But today, the records are, in fact, more important. These are two evenly matched teams. Hopkinton comes in at 7-3, and Ashland comes in at 6-4. And two very different teams. Hopkinton coming on strong the second half of the year offensively. Ashland, without a doubt, a defensive stalwart team, having allowed, Mike, only 70 points all year.
Yeah, and one of the stats that goes along with that 70 points, Chuck, there's only 3 teams that have allowed fewer points in whole eastern Massachusetts high school football this year. So
that's really remarkable. Included in that season for Ashland, they have 5 shutouts. Where they have not allowed the other team into the end zone. So we're not looking for a high-scoring game here today. Of course, you never know in high school football. Things happen that you can't predict. But by and large, I think this is going to be Ashland's defense versus Hopkinton's offense as the primary theme here today.
And we'd be remiss in not mentioning the fact that this also cumulates the senior season. And on the center of the field now, both senior classes are meeting for the traditional captain's meeting at center field, plus with the additional seniors that are on both teams.
And Mike, from the seniors' standpoint, this has a rather surreal feeling to them. For a lot of these guys, this will be the last time that they'll actually put on a full football uniform and play. And, there's a lot of stuff going through your head as you get out there. At halftime today, we'll be talking with Kyle Rudden and Paul Ostrander, the Hopkinton co-captains, from a taped interview, not live. And one of the things Kyle said is, which was kind of interesting, he said, it all comes down to getting your first hit. He said a lot of things go through your head, then you get your first hit, and then you're playing a game. He said, yes, it's Ashland, yes, it's Thanksgiving, but you're playing a game. And that's really true. Right now is when all these conflicting emotions are coming through the heads of the seniors as they stand at midfield.
And so the coin toss was held, and Ashland is going to receive the ball, and they're going to get it first here on this what's turning out to be a really nice.
It's a great day.
It looks foggy,
yeah.
But it's going to be a nice day for a game. The field is soft, so it could be a little bit problematic in the running game, but actually this field has held up pretty well. And what the great thing for both you and I, Chuck, is there's no rain.
That's exactly right. We're very happy in our exposed little booth here to be dry, and it's just a terrific day. This is Turkey Day. This is Thanksgiving Day rivalry. This is the 84th time that these two towns have met on the gridiron. 83 of them on Thanksgiving Day, one of them postponed because of inclement weather. That's really a remarkable run. So we're getting ready now for our national anthem, played by the award-winning Hopkinton High School Band.
The playing of our national anthem here at Chick Welch Field on this Thanksgiving Day meeting between the Clockers and the Hillers. A couple of stats you might want to know before we get started here is Ashland on this season is 6 wins, 4 losses, and the Hillers are 7-3. Hopkinton tries, Chuck, to continue a streak of 6 in a row where they have won this game on this day. And as we opened up with some of the statistical stuff Chuck and I were just talking about, it is a defensive game for the Clockers. If they can hold Hopkinton, they'll be in the ball game.
Well, there's nothing that Ashland would like more than not only to break that streak, but to get on the scoreboard first. People sometimes don't understand that if this Ashland offense can score quickly, that does a whole lot for their defense because they know they're good. And they know they can pin the Hillers back. So this is going to be an important series with Ashland receiving the ball first off.
Well, in the year 2000, Hopkinton did win, Ashland did win that game 16-13, and that was the last time Ashland did beat Hopkinton.
And they know, Mike, there's a million little stories within a story as you do a game like this. The Ashland starting quarterback, Chris Nealon, son of Johnny Nealon, who was a quarterback here at Hopkinton, will be on the field against his cousin, Jack Nealon, who's a senior at Hopkinton. So that's always fun to watch.
All right, Mark Sanborn kicks off. The ball goes between two Ashland Clockers, and they're going to down it in the end zone. And so the Clockers will take over.
Clockers got a little fortunate on that one. There's a little miscommunication between the two return guys, and they were fortunate it actually went into the end zone.
Because that would have been an equivalent of an onside kick and Hopkinton ball. Well, the Hiller defense comes out, and they're going to go up against the Ashland Clockers offense.
And during the game here, Mike, we want to pass out a few accolades. One of them to Chase Berry, number 40 in the defensive line for Hopkinton, who was elected to the Tri-Valley League All-Star team as a defensive lineman. Just a terrific year for Chase. Probably somewhat undersized in the defensive line, but incredible quickness.
All right, Chris Nealon starts off at quarterback, and in the backfield with him is Joe Piccioli.
Piccioli is usually the lead blocker for Daly, and Daly's got room.
And he does get up the middle for more. Joe Daly and Piccioli, the two running backs for the team. Joe Daly is the leading rusher for the Clockers with 480 yards on 116 carries. So it'll be a first down, and Hopkinton has let a quick run go off, and Ashland is now at the 35-yard line.
This is not what you want to do, is give Ashland's offense confidence here.
A 15-yard gain.
Daly is the man you want to watch, and Piccioli is usually leading the way.
And he hands off this time to Daly, and Daly goes to the right, and he doesn't get much. In fact, he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, on that particular play, Mike, Piccioli, the lead blocker, did lose his footing coming out of his stance. So that's something we want to keep our eyes on this late in the season. A lot of times the sod does rear its ugly head in the sense that it gets very loose.
So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 9. They did give him 1.
That being said, our compliments to Al Rogers and his crew, because this field does look in incredible shape for this time in the season.
All right, Nealon again from the shotgun now. He keeps it. He's going to run left, and he's going to be met
got nowhere
by
to go.
4 Hopkinton players. He stays on his feet, but
Mark
is dropped.
Masucci, Corey Thalheimer, Will Morningstar. There's just a slew of Hillers there.
So back to the original line of scrimmage the ball goes, and it'll be a 3rd and 10 from the 35-yard line.
Obvious passing down for Ashland. We'll see if Nealon comes in and throws the ball. It looks like Ashland has that same quarterback running to the sideline system that Hopkinton employs, and that makes it a little more time-consuming between each play and a little more tiresome for the quarterback.
Well, the leading receiver for this team, Chuck, is a tight end, Justin Carrot. He's got 16 receptions, 170 yards on the season.
He's a big boy.
And so from the shotgun, Nealon operates. And he fakes a handoff. Now he's
and
there
is
is
Carrot. He's open.
And it's
intercepted.
Intercepted by number 52, Will Morningstar. Oh, it's incomplete now.
Oh.
It's been waved off. They contend it must have hit the ground first. But that'll put the Clockers in a 4th down situation now.
But they were, to your point, Mike, they were going to their tight end, Carrot, on a crossing route, and he was open. But I didn't see who got the hand on it.
Yeah, someone tipped it up on the line. Actually, it went through, I believe it went through a Ashland hand.
So back to kick for Ashland is number 61, Joe Reskowskis.
And back to receive is Ostrander and Luke Warren. He gets the punt off. It's going to go to Ostrander. He picks it up on his 31-yard line. He runs to his left now. He gets on the sideline and runs out of bounds about the 43-yard line. So it'll be
good field
first
position.
And goal for Hillers at the 43.
Well, this is where we get our first look at this vaunted Ashland defense, and they are good. You've got Justin Carrot, the tight end that we talked about, number 5, has 56 tackles. Dave Britton, senior co-captain or tri-captain, I believe, with 90 tackles, has also forced 4 fumbles.
And they are a defensive team. To get to those 6 wins, we said in the opening, they've held teams to 70 points this year so far. And from the shotgun, a swing pass goes to Casada, and he runs up the field, and he gets about 6. Let's check that out. There was a flag, though.
Could have been procedure. I'm not sure if that was a legal formation.
We'll wait to see.
Very interesting alignment with 3 receivers wide right, and Casada split left.
Yeah, Hopkinton is marching backwards, so it will be a penalty against the Hillers.
May have gotten a little too cute.
Actually, they're calling blocking in the back a personal foul on the play. And so that'll bring up a
second. Is it loss of down? It shouldn't be loss of down, I don't think.
It should be back to first.
1st and 20, it looks like. Oof, that hurts.
Yeah, there's going to be a 1st and 20.
I think what happened is the left tackle, I think it's Thalheimer, I'm not sure who it is, got out wide, and the defensive back turned his back.
Warren, there's a whistle on the play now. I think that the referees weren't set. Let's check out what happened there. There is a flag thrown on the far side. Actually, no flag. It was just a whistle. So the referees are conferring.
Yeah, they're keeping it right where it is.
Right. So it's going to be a 1st and 20 from the 34-yard line.
Coach Hughes is talking to the official. He's upset about something.
You know what it might have been, Chuck? Was Hopkinton trying to run something quick? In other words, get to the line of scrimmage.
And the ball was set by the officials.
Right.
So Dan Donahue, as far as he's concerned, he's got a green light.
Right. All right, so we set up with Warren in the backfield with Kelly Cook.
Boy, they are coming. Here comes Ashland. They are coming to the line of scrimmage.
And Warren keeps, and he does not get back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and probably 21 now.
I'll give you a layman's observation there, Mike. Ashland, in something of a 3-4, was bringing all 4 linebackers, anticipating the snap. Hopkinton's going to have to throw the ball. They're going to have to throw the ball against this
They
team.
don't want Warren to beat him with his legs,
That's
which he's
exactly
been doing
it.
since he's entered the quarterback spot.
Yep, that's exactly it. So I think if Hopkinton is going to loosen this defense up, they're going to have to do it with throwing the ball. And
yeah, so you got Luke, Berry, and Cook, and it goes to Cook. He runs to his left side, and he's going to be pursued. He's going to be dropped for a 3-yard loss. So that vaunted defense we've been talking about has really stepped forward here now for Ashland. It's going to create a 3rd and 25.
Not the ideal situation that the Hillers wanted to see. And frankly, that penalty killed them. that first penalty, because it took him out of any normal sequence of play calling and putting him into a rather difficult situation.
All right, so lined up to the right side now is going to be Ostrander and Casada. Sanborn and Casada, and Ostrander is lined up to Warren's left. He's in the shotgun. He's looking to throw. He spots Paul wide open down the sideline. He catches the ball.
He's got the
and
first
he's got
down and then some.
More. He's going to keep
open.
running, and he's going to be stopped at the 33-yard line for a first down. Ostrander wide open.
Boy, how many times have we seen Luke do that this year? Well, let me tell you exactly how many times we've seen it. As you know, Warren came in mid-season. There's your replay.
Yeah, Paul just ran upfield hard.
And he broke loose here.
And then stepped back to come back for the ball.
Paul Ostrander finishing up an incredible career as a senior receiver here. That was his 30th reception of the year.
All right, so it brings up a first down at the 32-yard line. Handoff goes to Berry. Berry runs to his right.
That's Warren.
That's Warren.
Warren, he's got room. He's going.
Score a touchdown, and Hopkinton goes on the board.
That's a huge, huge break for the Hillers there. He went inside. The play was stuffed up, and Warren bounced it outside. And that puts the Ashland Clockers in a hole.
Yeah, Warren got to the line of scrimmage. Chuck bounced off a few. It looked like it was going to be a play that goes up the middle, and then he just swings out to his right side. Foot speed. Tremendous foot speed for Warren, runs it in for the touchdown, and pending the extra point, Hopkinton leads 6-0 at this moment. There it is on the replay right there.
Yep, there you see him. He's bouncing it outside, and the corner and safety got caught inside. Nobody held the edge, and Warren has the speed to bounce it out there, and Luke Warren continues this incredible positional shift for him this year.
And Sanborn comes on to try the extra point. Snap is down, it's up, and it looks good from here, and it is, and the referee signaled it. So that makes it a 7-0 ball game here on the Hillers' first possession, which looked to be disastrous in the beginning. Chuck, ends up being 7 points.
Well, I think one of the remarkable stories of this year has been the shift from Luke Warren as an all-purpose back receiver to the quarterback position in the Bellingham game, and what has happened to the Hopkinton offense since that occurred.
Yeah, what it's done is it's created teams to have to match up to 4 or 5 skilled players at a time, because now you've got the two backs that are with Warren in the backfield, and then plus the 3 outstanding senior wide receivers.
You know, what's interesting about that, Mike, is Luke Warren has thrown the ball 27 times this year. He's completed 11 of those 27. He averages 26 yards per completion, and he has 5 of his 10 completions prior to today were for touchdowns.
So he is an opportunistic quarterback, as Chuck is alluding to there.
He also has Ostrander, Casada, and Sanborn, which is very helpful.
And speaking of Sanborn, he's going to kick off here with the Hillers leading 7-0. We are in the first quarter with 6:43 to go, and here's the kick. And it's a low line drive that's
deep,
fielded. And up the middle comes number 23.
There's room in there.
And he's got a lot of room. He's going to run hard. And going back to the outside, he's still got room.
He's got Hume. Hume's the only one.
Billy Hume does make the play. And so Ashland gets great field position.
The Hillers have had that weakness all year, Mike. We've talked about it, and that's the perfect, as a kick returner, that's the perfect kick to return. Low and long. It gives you time to line up who's holding their lanes, who's not holding their lanes. And
Derek Santaski got the ball right at about the 5-yard line.
Terrific job.
And he returns it to the Hiller 31.
And the Ashland offense has a new life.
Where Ashland will take over on offense with Nealon joined now by Kyle, and he gets
inside handoff to Daly, and there's Will Morningstar.
Morningstar stops the ball at the line of scrimmage, probably a gain of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 30, inside the 30, probably 29-yard line.
That was great pursuit from the weak side by Morningstar. He is the leading tackler on the Hopkinton defense, averaging more than 10 tackles per game. Great job by Will Morningstar on that one. And a tip of the hat also, Mike, to Mark Sanborn, who was a Tri-Valley League place-kicking all-star, and clearly justifiably so.
He had a 48-yard kick this year, and it got a lot of notice around the Tri-Valley.
So Nealon at quarterback, Daly and
He gets
Pacholi.
it. He's going to run to
running
his
an
right.
option. He's
Now
got
he
room.
Goes up the middle, and he's stopped by a few Hopkinton players.
Nice job by Chris.
He's going to pick up about 6 yards, so it'll be a third and about 4.
Chris made the right read on that. The outside man for Hopkinton, I didn't see who it was marking the wing back Daly, and Nealon kept it and turned it upfield for a nice gain.
So it does create a third and 4 from the 24-yard line, and personnel changes now back in as
Daly comes out.
Pacholi comes back in. And Nealon joins Nealon with number 2, Mike
Della Femina is in, sophomore. He's in it. Looks like he's a lone running back. They're going to go to him on
a pitch to him, and he goes towards the middle, but he is met by Kevin Casada.
Yeah.
And
Casada and Kyle Rudden and Sean Clark. 3 seniors stepping up to the plate on Turkey Day.
And so it creates a 4th down, an absolute going, or it will be the Clockers.
This is Clocker would really like to get a first down here, keep this drive going.
And from the 25, they're going to attempt at 4:25 to go first quarter. Hopkinton leads 7-0.
Della Femina back in the backfield.
And now under center goes Nealon as he looks over the Hopkinton defense.
He's going to
throws
throw
to his right, throwing to the corner, over the middle.
He's got him. He's got his man.
And he's got number 30.
He's got his brother, his twin brother, Jeff Nealon.
Yep.
Bet that's happened in the backyard a few times, huh?
And
Jeff Nealon, Chris Nealon to Jeff Nealon.
And what it does, it creates a Clocker first down as short pass over the middle as one Nealon rolled out and threw to the other.
Very well done.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Here on what's turning out to be a great day. Fog is dissipated now, and so you can see the whole field easily. When we got here, we couldn't see it. Nealon from the shotgun now, and he's going to
quarterback
keep. He goes
keeper
up the middle.
He's got room.
Plenty of room, and he does get close to another Clocker first down, depending on the spot.
Connor Mahan comes up from the safety position and makes the hit.
And it will be a Clocker first down from our vantage point, and they are going to move the chains.
Well, no, they're saying it's 2nd and 1.
Boy, that's
they're going to measure.
From our angle, it looks like it's good, but we'll let you know as soon as the chains go down.
Clocker offense looking very smooth to us, Mike.
And we'll see as the chain gang comes out. And
got it.
It is going to be good just by the whole football length.
So it's first and goal.
Yeah, 1st and goal from the 8-yard line, 7-yard line, and Ashland on the march to try to answer that big run.
In a big way. In a big way, they're coming right now. Hiller defense has to stiffen in here.
And Nealon comes back in with the play as the chains gave the coach a chance to get an actual play together here. And in motion,
Della Femina comes back into the backfield.
Della Femina is right. It's a handoff to him, and he has got met up the middle for a gain of about 2.
Morningstar, good penetration on that, but this is tight quarters down here.
So it'll be a 2nd down, and looks like goal from the 5.
Daly back into the game. Kyle Daly, number 33. Pacholi's the lead blocker. He's going to take you where the ball's going.
The 175-pound senior. Under center, Sam Toplife.
They got a power formation here, 3 backs.
And the handoff does go up the middle, and
not much. Morningstar again in on. Will's doing a great job in there. Zach Carroll sticking his nose into the hole and stuffing things up.
And Daly was met for a 2-yard gain, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and goal.
This is a very
from the
big
3.
Goal. I got to believe, though, if I'm Ashland with the year that their offense has had, this is 4-down territory.
No question.
I don't think they're interested in 3 points right now. And that's interesting. They're putting Karat way out to the right, covered by Doyle.
Nealon looks over the defense. He drops back. He's going to throw a swing
to
pass.
Him. They got him.
Middle and for a touchdown. And the Hillers have not held Ashland. And so it'll be 7-6 now, waiting the extra point.
Just like that, they answer the call.
And I didn't see who the number was on that.
That was Justin Carrot, who
was it?
Yep, split wide right, the tight end. They just slanted him into the middle, and there was no help for Doyle on the inside.
Trying the extra point, number 51, Steve Dixit. High snap, gets it down.
Oh, they got it. It's blocked. And here goes Ostrander.
And no one's going to catch him, I don't believe. He's going to the sideline. Paul looking back, putting his head down. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, and a touchdown on a blocked return, blocked extra point.
That could be a big play. Let's see what that is.
He runs it back.
So the Hillers pick up 2 points on that. That's a return of a blocked extra point. So they pick up 2 points. And just like that, what should have been a 7-7 game is now 9-6. It just goes to show you special teams, you know?
Well, there it is, Chuck. There's the thing that you say you've never seen before.
That's exactly
never seen
right.
that before.
That's exactly right.
I don't know what at any level, really.
Well, typically on a blocked extra point, it's alignment.
Right.
So they're not taking it all the way, but somehow Ostrander will come up the pipe. I think he blocked it with his shins.
Well, what it was a very high snap, and so what ended up happening.
Let's see if
we
we have a
replay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know it was a high snap because the holder had to come down with the ball, and
what
as
a
he
turn
put
of
it down.
events that was. Takes a little bit of the wind out of the sails of the Clockers, although they have to believe now that they can move the ball on this Hiller defense.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you think that hurts?
Oh. Well, all of a sudden, you're in your head, you're saying, okay, we just tied it up. And now you're saying, man, we got to score again, and we're going to have to score a touchdown. There you see the replay. Austrian, I thought 51, the kicker might have had a shot at catching him. He was moving.
And then Paul just looked back 3 times and then turned on the Jets and ran for the corner of the end zone as a
Sanborn made a very smart play there, not throwing the block, believe it or not, because the only thing that can happen there is a block in the back. You know, the guy turns his back at the last minute.
Well, the Hillers will get the ball again. This time the lone kick returner is Warren so far. I think Paul is out there gasping for some air.
Yeah, they're giving Paul a break on this one.
Because that was a 93-yard return if he got the ball at the
that's a
point
long
of
way,
the kick.
Man. That's a long way.
Here is the kick.
It's onside.
And it goes to the hands, people. Of
Zach Carroll. Nice run.
And he's still on his feet and then is dropped.
Zach gives the Hillers great field position at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, you know, I've never been a big fan of that low line drive kick because if you do scoop the ball up, you know, you got an extra 20 yards on the
that's
play.
exactly it. That's exactly it. And
so that must be respect for Warren's ability to run it back even further against
I
you.
think that's exactly what it is. I really do.
So Hopkinton will start at the 45-yard line, close to the 45.
Now this is going to be interesting because we've seen the Hillers now score against this defense. Let's see if they change their tactics. They've got 4 linebackers and they are coming. Oh, you got an offside
that
here.
Looked close to an offside, but no flag was thrown over the middle to Casada. And it's just through his hands as the ball is thrown a little bit behind Kevin.
Yeah, nice play by Mike Delfemin in the secondary for Ashland, stepping in to break that up. Mike, a sophomore, I believe.
The game plan has changed a little bit right now in the beginning, Chuck. Hopkinton throwing on a first down situation.
I like that call. I mean, you know, a lot of people say, no, you got to get positive yardage on first down, and I do believe in that. But I like the idea of trying to hold those linebackers and make them think a little bit before they come hard.
As you said, we thought there was going to be an offside there as several of the Ashland players rushed forward. But here is the handoff goes to Cook. He runs to his left, and that opens
up some
room.
Space. Kelly, nice job. Great job by Kelly Cook.
And Kelly looks like he picks up around 8 or 9, so we'll see where they mark the ball here.
And you know, in all the hoopla about Luke going back to quarterback and the resurgence of the offense, I think the guy that's kind of gotten shortchanged here is Kelly Cook, who comes into the game as the leading rusher, carrying the ball 126 times for the Hillers this year for 654 yards and 6 touchdowns.
He's definitely held the load here on the running back, and most of the games we've seen him play, Chuck, has been a tough-fought game for him. He's really put his head down and run hard. As the handoff goes to him again, he slides forward, and
he looks like he's got it. He looks like he's got it.
Yep, he did land over the 45-yard line, so the chains move, and Kelly Cook picks up a Hiller first down.
You know, the thing you got to point out there, Mike, is Jeff Doyle comes in under center right there for the 3rd and short yardage. And, you know, Ashland, this is a tough team to prepare for because you got Warren in the shotgun. You got both quarterbacks that can throw the ball well. two entirely different looks when they come in.
Yeah, and that's the problem right now, or the good thing for the Hillers making that move to Warren.
Wow, look at this offense. Look at this spread offense. Look at the gaps.
There's wide open lanes, and they're coming, and Warren's going to keep, and he goes through the middle, and Ashland is not fooled by the play, and so it'll bring up a second down. There was positive yardage there for Warren.
Yep. I think the important thing there is the look. I think all of a sudden Hopkinton has shown something that at halftime the Ashland defensive coaches at least have to pay attention to, you know?
Yeah, so, and like you said, when that got spread out, good things could have happened there for the Hillers, but Ashland read it perfectly, and it only allowed Warren to pick up a yard or two. So it'll bring up a second down, and looks like 8 from the 42-yard line.
And that's the end of the first quarter here, Mike.
Yeah, so a nice effort by both teams,
yeah,
and an interesting.
Just a great game to watch.
So Hopkinton does take a 9-6 lead at the end of the first quarter.
Hopkinton will have the ball. I believe they'll be on the Ashland 42, 43-yard line with a 2nd and 8.
Hey, Chuck, some of the more interesting stats, and we're going to try to get some of these storied stats from all these years these two teams played.
Sure.
The largest margin of victory, 60-0, Ashland.
Whoa, when was that?
1952.
No kidding. 60-0. That's Patriot-like.
which is amazing. There's been some pretty lopsided scores, but when you do look at the total number of games, these two teams play each other tough, and it is a huge, for a non-person who's lived in town that long, it is a huge rivalry, and they take it very serious. It's a nice crowd here on a Thanksgiving morning watching this contest.
This is a great crowd, and as typically of a 10 o'clock in the morning start, this crowd will continue to grow till halftime as people tend to roll out of the sack a little late and get over here, and some of the alumni show up for the second half only, but a real good crowd surrounding Chick Welch Field here at Hopkinton High School for the 84th meeting of the Clockers and the Hillers.
Well, the Clockers, one interesting stat is, we talked about how they're based on a defense game here, and one of the problems for them is they've only scored an average of 9 points per game this season, so they're going to have to watch.
Oh, there's a reverse to Ostrander.
Ostrander runs to his right. He's got some room, and he picks up about 4 or 5 yards. So as I started to say before the play went, they're only scoring 9 points a game themselves here in the Tri-Valley League games, so they really want to limit Hopkinton to scoring here.
Well, I think that's their premise. They're going to come at you with that 3-4. They've got very athletic linebackers, and I think Coach DiGirolamo has given them the green light. He's letting them play. He's using their athletic ability and their instincts.
All right, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 from the 37-yard line.
Okay, Casada switches up, goes into the slot with Ostrander, and with Sanborn. Ostrander goes right.
And Ashland looks like they're coming there offside. Yeah, they definitely could not get back as they tried to read the snap count there, and they didn't get it. It is offsides. It'll be 5 yards, and we'll see where this spots the ball. It's going to be very close to a 1st down.
That number 51 for Ashland, Steve Dixit. I believe that's 51 here.
Yep.
He's only a sophomore, and he's been up on that line of scrimmage at least 3 or 4 times. In fact, we erroneously thought he was offside before, but I think they caught him this time. Karat trying to argue his case.
So with 5 yards, that brings the ball
short.
About a half a yard short of the 1st down.
I'm sure that's going to
alter.
alter.
In fact, it's not even the nose of the ball from this angle. So
it's amazing that they know that that's not a 1st down. I'm not sure how you know that.
I'm sure. Yeah, and in fact, it looks like they're asking for a measurement.
Yeah, Coach wants a measurement. Coach Hughes wants a measurement.
Actually,
that's saying it's short.
They're not going to give them. They can tell it's short.
See, the problem from Coach Hughes' standpoint, if you don't get a measurement here and you lose yardage, I've never seen the officials refuse a measurement before.
All right, so Doyle now does go under center. Gets around, he keeps, and he's going to get more than enough for a 1st down.
Boy, he just exploded out of there.
Yeah, Jeffrey Doyle, the junior, gets a nice surge forward, and he picks up the Hiller 1st down, and the chains move. And there's a whistle.
I think they just restarted the clock for some reason.
That's what it is. Yeah. The movement of the chains.
So 9.5 to go. Ostrander.
Ball is
right.
Ball's at the 29-yard line. Now, Doyle. Warren back now at quarterback. He looks to heave one down the middle. He's got Ostrander, and Ostrander gets it, but he drops it.
I think that could be interference. There's a flag down on the play.
Let's see what the call is going to be. And Ostrander turned his body right towards the ball, and I think he was pushed from behind. And let's see what the call is. Oh boy, it's going the other way. No, it isn't. Yeah.
Jeff Nealon on the defensive side. Jeff giving up a lot of size to Paul. Tried to battle him, but Paul has that ability to really screen and use his body so well on those long passes. And he's a big kid. It's hard to get over him, and he gets up in the air.
Well, it does result in a pass interference call against the Clockers, and it does create a first down inside the 15-yard line, just inside the 15. And the Hillers will have a 1st and 10 from the 14 or so. So Warren now back on the shotgun. Gets the ball, fakes a handoff, now goes up the middle, but he's met.
Oh, he is met and stopped.
By a lot of.
That's the sophomore that was Steve Dixit, number 51.
He's been in on every play, as you said, Chuck. He's really done a great job penetrating through the line of scrimmage. And actually the Hillers lost about a yard there, so it'll be a 2nd and 11 from the 15.
So, one of the matchups in here is John Slane at middle guard at 6'3", 265 for Ashland against Dan Donahue at 5'10", 175. And Dan's got his work cut out for him today.
All right, so Warren with a backfield of Berry and Cook. And he keeps it again. This time he rolls to his right, bumps off a few Ashland tacklers, and he does get about 2 extra yards on that. So
telling you, though, Ashland is coming with those linebackers on every play. It appears as though a quick slant.
And so that creates a 3rd and looks like 7 from the 13-yard line.
3rd and 8, it looks like. They've got to get almost to the 5-yard line to get a first down here.
With 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, Hopkinton leads 9-6.
Ashland defense starting to stiffen down here.
All right, so Berry, Warren, and Cook again. And
some movement, no flags.
Warren runs to his right. He gets outside, but he's not going to get enough for a first down. It'll bring up a 4th down.
4th and 5, and this is decision point. I got to believe the Hillers are going to kick it.
Yeah, here comes Sanborn now on with the special teams unit. And Sanborn will be attempting.
McNell on the field, yeah.
A field goal.
John's on. He's the long snapper, so you always look to see if he's on the field or not.
So this will be a 29-yard attempt, I would say, for Sanborn.
28, 29 yards.
And Ostrander will hold. And it's down. The kick is up, and it is.
It is good. It did make it through.
It snuck inside.
Nice job.
Left pole, and
Mark Sanborn, Tri-Valley League All-Star place kicker, comes through and lives up to his.
And that kick going through from about 29 yards out gives the Hillers a 12-6 lead.
With 7.5 to go here in the second quarter, Mike.
All right, so you've seen a blocked extra point run back.
Yep.
You've seen a field goal.
I have never seen, by the way. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that in high school.
Yeah. So the Hillers do lead here 12-6, and all predictions prior to this game said it was going to be a close game, and it's living up to the billing.
Yep,
the Ashland defense is really playing well. The Hillers might have just a tad more skilled players on offense. And as I said, one of the problems for the Clockers is going to be scoring points. They have not scored that many points this season.
But they've been moving the ball, Mike, and there's 7.5 to go in a half. They had a great kickoff return from Santaski last time. He's back on the field with Della Femina deep. And the Hiller kick coverage team has to improve. They've got to improve what they've been doing.
Yeah, it's as you said, been a weakness for them this year. And Sanborn picks off, and it's on the ground, and it's bobbled at the 20 by number 1,
Ryan Hanrahan.
And he does pick it back up and get the ball back to the 28-yard line.
Where the Clockers will take over, trying to see if they can move down, not only tie the score, but with an extra point, which we'll have to see how that goes. They could take the lead with the score.
We'll see a little bit of everything here on this great morning Thanksgiving football, 84th meeting of these two teams.
Sun trying desperately to break out to here.
And so the Clockers will go on offense with Nealon in the shotgun, joined by Daly.
Going right.
This time he hands it off to him, and Daly gets about 5 positive yards, maybe 4. And so it'll bring up a 2nd and 6 from the 33-yard line. Barry was the tackler. Chase. And as Chuck said in the opener, now the crowd seems to be filing in. The field is ringed with players standing, and we're on the Ashland side of the field, and it is packed up on the side of the hill all the way down to both poles. So once the rain went away, got people looking. So here's Daly again.
Going
he goes
the other
cuts
way,
through the
cuts
middle.
back up.
And he's met by Hopkinton. He's going to lose about, actually he's going to gain about 2 yards.
Nice play by John Bicknell, Mark Masucci, and Chase Barry on that side of the ball. Morningstar turned it back in, and they were there to pick it up on the flow.
And it's going to be a 3rd and 5 from the 35-yard line.
And this could be an important first half play here, because if they can keep the drive going, you know, you're only 1 score away if you're Ashland. That's not bad. I mean, they're encouraged by that.
All right, single coverage with Jeffrey Doyle in front of us.
Better watch the tight end, Karat. He goes into the backfield, then comes back out. Ostrander's going to have him.
And Nealon is
going up the sideline.
And he's got a man.
He's got him.
And it's just overthrown. He misses Karat, the tight end.
That was very interesting. They wanted to isolate Karat, and he's clearly their #1 receiver. And he ran what's commonly referred to as a down, out, and up. And Paul bit on the out, and Karat turned it up, and he was open.
Nealon underthrows that ball a little bit, and he's got himself a guy wide open and down the field. Now Ostrander would have had to get downfield to stop it. But Ashland's going to punt now, and back is Warren and Ostrander at the 35-yard line, and here comes the kick.
A wobbly one.
And it's going to be roll out of bounds at the 30-yard line, right over the 30-yard line marker.
So 6 minutes even up on the clock, Mike, here in the second quarter. The Hillers up by 6, 12-6, and going to try to see now if they can play a little ball control and keep the ball out of the Clockers' hands and create something on offense. Once again, it looks like Ashland on the defensive line has a significant size advantage.
Yeah, as you can probably tell, it's really a one-sided affair, but the Hiller offensive line has done their own. I mean, they've kept a little bit of pressure off of the quarterbacks. The running game has not gotten on track because Ashland is running 5 guys through the line of scrimmage, and all includes their linebackers, and they're coming again. Warren keeps, he hops over.
Yeah, and these 2 outside linebackers, Dixit and Karat, they pinch and come on every play. So they're stuffing anything that's coming from either side. That time, Dixit made the tackle on the opposite side of the field, because most high school defenses don't see a 3-4. You don't see a 3-4 very often in high school.
And Ashland is out there trying to say to you, okay, throw against us, which is not an easy thing to do in high school football, pass block on a consistent basis. Anyway, Berry with Warren and Kelly Cook in the backfield as Warren looks to throw downfield. He does. He launches over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted.
Yes, it is. And he's got room. That's Della Femina, and he can run.
To the sideline now, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds on an interception by Warren.
I think Luke put that one up for grabs. So the Clockers get a big break with 5 minutes to go here in the first half. They now have the ball on the Hiller, it looks like 24-yard line.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about that throw for Warren, though, he really was. I think it looked like he kept his eye on the receiver the whole time.
Well, he did. He hung in there.
And then he threw it short, so it'll create a turnover. And that is one of Ashland's attributes to their game, is that they cause turnovers. They had 19 going into this game. And Nealon keeps now, and then he throws to Daly. It gives to Daly. Daly runs up the middle. And
Barry and Morningstar there. Again, how many times have we said their names this year?
So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 And
Clark is looking to take advantage. 19 turnovers. Holy cow.
4:40 to go. Yeah, I think I read something like that, Chuck.
Yeah, I think they're +6 for the year.
Yeah, they are. You're right. So, and it was all, and it's how they got their 6 wins is what they got a turnover in every one of those, at least one in every one of those games.
Tight formation here now.
Right, kneeling under center.
He's going to throw. He's throwing out of the
sidelines.
He's got Karat.
And
Kevin's got to come up.
And he misses him, and now it's going to be dragged out of bounds by Quesada.
You know, it's interesting. I'm not sure what the Hillers are doing for pass defense. It's interesting to see, but Karat has been wide open all day. He's their leading receiver, and he's been open all day.
Yeah, Connor Mahan came across the field. He missed the tackle as Karat made a move, and then Kevin had to come up from the cornerback spot and pick it up. But as Chuck said, the passing game on the sideline anyway to Karat. And you would think, Chuck, looking at their stats, you know, there's only one receiver they're going to throw to. So you kind of watch him, I would imagine. But what this does is creates a nice chance for scoring. There's a whistle on the field here.
Timeout by the Hillers. Hiller defense wants to regroup here.
Yeah, the ball is placed, it looks like, at the
4.
I don't see a marker.
Yeah,
it's at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, first and goal.
First and goal from the 4.
It's going to be a tough task for the Hillers to keep the Clockers out of the end zone.
Well, Chuck mentioned a few minutes ago about some of the all-stars on this team. Let me give you some of them here. So you got Ostrander, Sanborn, Berry, Thalheimer were all selected TVL all-stars.
As was Luke Warren. Luke Warren was selected in a very interesting slot, the all-purpose position.
So Warren joins that Hardy crew.
And you got to remember, Warren also received, when he was a receiver earlier in the year, has caught 8 passes for 95 yards, as well as thrown a few. So the Hillers come back on the field. Body language doesn't look great right now.
Well, Ashland's definitely in a position here to score. They are at the 4 with a first and goal with 4:18 to go in the half. Hopkinton does lead 12-6.
I think you have to give a lot of credit to Chris Nealon, the quarterback for Ashland. He has put the ball on the money.
And now they're going to an I formation now here.
Yeah, they're coming. This is their power formation.
And
they're
they give to
right at you, and
Delafemi. He's close.
Close, not in, but close.
He's at the 1. Delafemi, I believe, carried it, and so he's at the 1.
Mike's a terrific athlete.
And Masucci made the stop for Hillers, so it's on the, it looks like it's at the 1, inside the 1, for a second and goal. And the big offensive line for.
Yeah, this is going to be horse against horse.
And it's
wow, what a
nice
play.
Penetration
Will Morningstar.
By Morningstar.
Knifed through there.
Oh, what a nice play by Will. He really came up huge there, and what it did is created a 2 or 3 yard loss.
Well, Morningstar did exactly what you have to do on the goal line. He got across the line of scrimmage. He didn't meet him at the line of scrimmage, and the back has momentum when he hits you on the line of scrimmage. He met the back before he could gather any momentum.
From the I formation. Now Karat goes to the right, the leading receiver for the Clockers.
Now they threw inside to him.
I formation. This time is a handoff up the middle, and it's not close. I'll tell you, no signal from the officials. The coaches on the sideline are raising their hands for a touchdown, but it's not signaled.
It is 4th down.
So it's going to be a 4th.
And I can't. It's right at the goal line.
It's got to be like
right
inches.
At the goal line. Yep.
4th and inches.
They're going for it.
A stop here is huge for Hopkinton.
It sure is. 2.5 to go. Clocker's looking to punch it in from the 1-inch line.
And Hopkinton is tight, which the only exception now is Ostrander on Karat. And it's a give, and it is a touchdown. Number 43, Joe Piccoli.
They gave to the lead back that time.
They had gone 3 times to the last back in the I formation and were short. And this time they give to the lead back, as Chuck just said, and they do score. And they do tie the game at 12, pending an extra point here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they're going to go for 2. No, they're going for 1 again.
They had an extra point blocked on the last touchdown they scored, and that was ran back by Ostrander for a 2-point safety. And here it is, another high snap.
It's good.
That one is, this time goes
and
through.
The Clockers take the lead, 13-12.
And they do lead 13-12 with under 2.5 to go in the first half.
So there again, you see, as you've heard many times, I'm sure, the importance of turnovers in football. The Hillers had the ball with 5 minutes to go. Interception brought back to the 24-yard line, and the Clockers able to punch it in from there. So 13-12, the Clockers with 2.5 to go. They'll be kicking off to the Hillers in just a terrific game here.
Living up to the tradition there, Chuck.
Absolutely.
These two teams battle each other pretty much close all the time, and again, it's going to be that way here this morning. Here in the 2007 meeting of these two high schools, 84th meeting.
The Clockers offense showing they can put points on the board.
From the running back position, they are monsters with their offensive line and some quick.
It's interesting to me that their offense has gotten a bad rap coming into here. But Nealon has, on the short passing game, he has really put the ball, in Karat's hands. He put it in his brother Jeff's hands and made a critical first down earlier. All right, so back to receive is in single safety. We'll see if they short kick it like they did last time. Dixit in to kick, the sophomore linebacker.
Warren is the back, and he's going to get the ball.
Puts it deep.
To him, and he picks it up at the goal line. Now he turns around and runs towards the middle of the field, takes a move, now goes up the middle, and he's going to be dropped at the 23-yard line. So it's a pretty good effort by Luke as he got the ball at the goal line and got back to the 21 or 22-yard line.
All-purpose Tri-Valley League All-Star going off the field, so I imagine Doyle will be in at quarterback. No, he's just going over to get the play. That's what I mean. The kid runs it back 23 yards, gets nailed, and then has to run to the other sideline to get the play.
Oh, and by the way, hurry up.
Yeah, hurry up. Oh, and carry the ball.
All right, so the ball is at the 23 now as the sun really does come onto the field, and Hopkinton is facing the sun. And in the backfield is Berry, Cook with Warren. Casada to Warren's left, and Warren's going to roll to his right. He's looking to throw downfield. He throws over the middle, and it's almost picked again. As he was going for Sanborn.
Yeah, but Ashland had that very well covered. Jeff Nealon read Warren all the way. Warren didn't look off his receiver. He looked at him all the way. It almost looked like Luke had a little room to go there.
So it'll be up a 2nd down and 10.
With about
2 minutes, 2 minutes and 15 to go in the half.
Clockers defense playing well.
And Hopkinton now has 2 wide receivers to Warren's left. And Warren's going to run, and he goes up the middle, and he is met by Kelly Cook first, and then someone from Ashland, number 43. Makes the stop, so it'll bring up a third and about 3, actually 4.
It's a big call for the Hillers.
Piccoli was the number 43 to stop that play. So yeah, it is a 3rd and looks like about a 4. And in comes Berry. And Warren comes back with the play. This time single side to the left. It's Sanborn. To the right is Casada and Ostrander on a 3rd and 4. And he's going to throw and throws down to the sideline. He's got
Casada.
Casada's got enough for a first down. He
shakes one tackle.
Forward, and he is dropped. And it's good for a first down with the clock at 1:23 as it stops for the chains to move. Hopkinton with all their time, actually with one less timeout.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The clock is running at 1:19. They've got to get down to around the 15, 20-yard line in order to get it within field goal range.
And this time Sanborn comes to the left of Warren along with Casada, and they're going to have 2 wide outs to his left with Sanborn to his right. Warren's looking to throw again. He rolls to his left. He's going to launch down the middle of the field. He's got Ostrander, and he trips, and the ball was overthrown anyway, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. And the clock is stopped with 57 seconds to go in half.
Yeah, Luke put that one way out there.
And so
Paul tried to make a nice adjustment on the ball, but just couldn't get there.
Yeah, as he turned, he tripped himself.
That's not pass interference. I mean, that was,
No, there was nowhere near the. Paul's the one who tripped himself, actually. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 38. And the crowd kind of
a little subdued
here.
Yeah, a little subdued right now, waiting to see what's going to happen.
With Berry and Cook in the backfield, and there's a whistle on the play.
I think that's a procedure.
Timeout. Actually, timeout. Hopkinton calls timeout. They didn't like something they saw.
Yeah, they didn't, on a 2nd and 10.
And so, it'll bring up, it stays 2nd and 10.
Offensive coordinator, Coach Evan Bishop, over talking to, I think it's Luke. A little screened from that right now.
Yeah.
The Hillers looking to create something here in the last minute of the first half, down by 1 point, 13-12, in a terrific football game of evenly matched teams. Hillers break the huddle. Casada, Ostrander go left, Sanborn go right, Sanborn wide left.
And Warren is joined in the backfield again by Cook and Berry. And Warren is dropping back to throw. He's looking up the field. He does throw over the middle. He's got a nice spiral.
That was a great throw.
That's I'd say that's Luke's best throw of the season. It was just a
rope. That was a rope is right. That's exactly what it is. Here's the replay here. Warren going back. You're going to get a good look from his view. He sees Ostrander and he puts it right up there. And of course Paul has great hands. Goes up and catches it from the 39. And now the Hillers are thinking score.
Right.
They've got 49 seconds left to go.
And there is a timeout on the field. It looks like a timeout on the field. So the ball's at the 39-yard line of the Clockers. Hey, let's mention some of those coaches. Evan Bishop with Hughes, Coach Dave Hughes, Anthony Gonzalez, Peter Torelli, Rich Paquette, Lou Ottaviani III. We'll get a few more of them in. Give them their thanks for this day. Warren now gets from the shotgun, throws to the sideline. He has
it's a hook and lateral to
and
Doyle.
It goes to Doyle, and Doyle steps out of bounds.
Boy, that's a tough play to pull off. That's a tough play to pull off. Great job.
I think that was Casada that pitched it back.
I think so.
Couldn't see from this angle, but it does create a 2nd down and 2 from the 30-yard line as
here's an
Hopkinton
interesting
got out of bounds.
Little flip of positions, too. You got Jeff Doyle playing wide receiver, Luke Warren throwing to him. Early in the season, it was Doyle throwing to Warren.
And so Sanborn and Ostrander lined up to the outsides. And Warren's going to throw again. And he keeps it. Now he launches down the middle, and it's through the middle.
Sanborn, he's got Sanborn open at the 9-yard line.
What a nice throw by Warren again.
Boy, Luke Warren's really showing some strength in that arm. Here's a replay, Mike.
Yeah, there it is. Just steps forward and throws a bullet right down to Sanborn. And Sanborn is tackled at the 9. So it'll give a 1st and goal from the 9, and the Hillers looking to score right before they go into half.
Now Bicknell comes in for Doyle, which usually indicates a stronger blocking team.
All right, and Warren gets the snap, and it's a whistle. Let's see what the play is.
Referees make some calls.
Well, that's a penalty against. Is it a penalty?
Timeout.
Yep, timeout for Hopkinton.
So Bishop must have called a timeout based on what he saw over there. 31 seconds left. The Hillers now do not want a turnover, Mike. Under no circumstances do you want a turnover because you're in field goal range. You can take the lead before halftime, even if you don't get in the end zone. Obviously, they'd like to get in the end zone, but.
And Chuck, I left off with Rich Paquette. Then you got Lou Ottaviani Jr. The 3rd, young Lou.
Yep.
Jay Golden, Lou Ottaviani Sr. or Jr. I say Senior, Junior because I only know the 2 of them. And by the way, Lou, the father, actually provided us, Chuck, with a lot of stats this year. He kept adding up numbers for us.
Yeah, great guy. Really part of the programs here at Hopkinton. And
then, of course, Scotty Mackin.
That's right, Coach Mackin.
And they have given a great time this season, 2007 season. The Hillers, with their 7-3 record, looking to go 8-3. It would be another successful season if they could pull this win. It will be anyway, but 8-3 sounds great.
It sure does. And, of course, the class of 08, a lot of athletes in that class. What a terrific class going through academically. They set great examples for the younger players.
All a bunch of good kids. So it's going to be a 1st and goal from the 9 with 31 seconds to go from the shotgun. Now Cook goes in motion. And it's a keep, and Warren piles up the middle. He drives his feet forward. He gets to the inside 5. The 5.
Going to have to use a timeout if they have one.
And it'll be 2nd down.
They got to go. There's only 20 seconds left.
And the clock is running.
They have got to go here. This is very critical. Casada doesn't look like he knows where he's going.
10 seconds to go now.
They're going to go to
keeps,
Warren again. Nothing.
he's
Timeout.
dropped,
You got to
and
call your timeout. Got to call your timeout.
And there is a timeout on the field with 3 seconds to go.
Yep.
And the Clockers have held here to a third down situation from the 3. And Sanborn comes on, and he looks like he's going to try a field goal, but there is a timeout, so they're going to talk about it. From the ball's at the 5. So
Ashland has to be a little bit. I mean, you know, Coach Hughes, you know, a lot of people think he's very, very conservative, and he is. He is conservative as a coach. But by and large, he's also got a little bit of that riverboat gambler in him.